So, in the internet, latest rumors about the iPhone 18 series, the most interesting one has to be the so-called iPhone Fold, iFold, iBent wallet. I hope you like creases. Trademark. At this point, Apple could call it Courage 2, now with hinges.
Reason to move on. I'm going to give you three of them, but it really comes down to one word: courage. The courage to move on, do something new that betters all of us.
And people will still line up overnight like it's a life-changing event instead of a very expensive way to introduce a crease into their daily lives. FYI, the name being rumored the most, iPhone Ultra. Real original, guys. At this point, why not just call it the iPhone Z Fold? And yeah, I've got some thoughts. Strong ones, slightly judgmental ones, and definitely financially protective ones. Let's get to it. Spoiler alert, no, I don't plan to get this device, not this version, not version 2, not version 5 when it comes bundled with Apple Care Plus Emotional Support Edition. Because foldables to me are still the tech equivalent of buying a luxury sports car that can also turn into a scooter. Cool flex, questionable life decision. And yes, they've improved. We've gone from don't breathe on it too hard to, okay, it might survive a careful adult, which is progress, I guess. But they're still fragile, still overpriced, and still making way too many compromises for something that's supposed to be premium. If I'm paying top dollar, I want the best camera, the best battery, the best performance, and the best durability. Not slightly worse, just so my phone can fold like a piece of paper. Now let's talk about the rumored specs, also known as the justification section. A 5.5-inch outer display sounds nice until you realize that's basically a throwback to smaller phones, except now it's attached to something that costs twice as much. Then you unfold it and get a 7.8-inch inner display with a 4:3 aspect ratio, which Apple will absolutely market as a productivity powerhouse. In reality, most people will use it to scroll social media, watch videos, and open messages. But bigger, revolutionary. It's giving strong, we turned your phone into a tiny tablet energy, except with a visible crease reminding you that physics is still undefeated. And let's not pretend Apple won't spin every compromise like it's a feature. Thicker body? That's structural integrity. Heavier weight? Premium feel. Battery trade-offs? Optimized performance. Missing features compared to the Pro lineup? That's not a downgrade. That's a new product category. Translation, you're paying more to get less, but in a way that folds so somehow it's exciting. Meanwhile, other foldables on the market have already shown that there is no perfect design. You either get an awkward outer display or a smaller one that feels like a backup phone. Apple's rumored approach seems to fix one problem just to introduce a different one, which is honestly impressive in its own way. Look, foldables are cool. They're futuristic. They make you feel like you're in 2035 for about 5 minutes. Then you're back to reality, carefully opening your phone like you're Indiana Jones opening a rare artifact, noticing the crease every time the light hits it wrong, and charging it more often than you'd like. For me, I'd rather have a normal phone that does everything perfectly than a transformer phone that does some things great and the rest like it's still in beta testing. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about this device and whether you'd actually be willing to spend even more Apple premium dollars on it, because you already know the starting price is gonna feel like a personal attack. While you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode of Tech Companies Convincing Us We Need Things We Definitely Don't. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, yes, I'm still calling it Twitter, and of course, right here on YouTube at J.R. Abrams Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.